So this is another Spock quote, which is insufficient facts always invite danger. Now, it depends what area you work in, but again, there's different camps of people, but data-backed decisions are the best decisions you can make, even if it's like that head or heart thing, isn't it? Like you either make a decision based with your head or based with your heart. And I think what we're sort of, or what I took from this quote is, if you make a decision based purely on like your own opinion without taking into account anyone else's opinions, any data, any real learnings, the chances are you're going to make a mistake or you're going to make the wrong decision. So wherever possible, you should be looking at your KPIs, you should be looking at performance, looking at the industry, looking at customer feedback, and actually learning from that and adjusting your course of action.
Yeah, what you all at Selligence do so well is provide so much data on organizations that I think is kind of like deep data. And at HockeyStack, we provide visibility into the entire buyer's journey. There's that quote, like, assumptions are a great way to make an ass out of yourself. Now, look, we're not trying to take away instinct. I think that's been proven that, hey, being like, it was a big thing in MBAs to be completely data driven. That doesn't drive business, right? Amazon, like their motto is we're smart and we know we're smart. And, that's a very data driven company. But the more data you can have to inform that decision. And as, CRO, or not CRO, head of revenue, I'm always trying to look at the data, like opt-out data, handoff data to CSMs, marketing data. Amir, who's our co-founder and runs marketing, is always looking at data. And, sometimes you're like, that's enough data. He wanted me to fill out a form and I'm like, I can't do this, man. I can barely update Salesforce. But it's, if you don't have that look. And then was a podcast on yesterday with Dave Kellogg on Exit 5, and he talked about marketers being a, what is it? Dispassionate advisor. And I think that's so powerful because, you're trying to maintain sales and marketing alignment. Not everyone, is aligned like you and Nick. You have to just say, hey, this is what the data says, and let the data speak for itself, because it keeps emotions out of it. It keeps it from being personal. But yeah, use your instinct, but inform that instinct with as much data as possible so that you don't invite danger.
Because I guess that, look, if decisions were wholly based on data, there'd be no human involvement in decisions, would there? So there's always going to be an element of that gut, that instinct. Like you said, you might have been in marketing for 25 years, and over the 25-year period, you've learned a few instincts that, that spidey sense, whatever you want to call it, of what the right decision is. I guess from a HockeyStack perspective, my CEO asked me 2 days ago, he said, look, if you were going to invest more money, which channel would you invest the money in? And if I had a tool like HockeyStack, or if I was to look at the data, then for us, that would be LinkedIn and Google. That's what the data is telling me. 25% of everyone who comes inbound says they saw us on LinkedIn. Another 25-30% say Google. So 50% is LinkedIn and Google. There's your data. That's where we would invest the money in. And I guess from a sales perspective, then if you're thinking from a Selligence perspective, you've got win rates across certain ICPs, across certain job title, job functions. You've got conversion rates and win rates of reaching out off the back of sales triggers versus not, reaching out with relevance. There's tons you could take from this quote from Spock, and I think essentially just make a decision that's got some data behind it, rather than just putting your finger in the air and hoping for the best.